What's up, fellas? It's the end of the year, and I figured I'd give an update on all the cars, where they're at, what progress I'm making, if any, on them. And today I'll do the LTD. So if I can get this up and it'll stay, I'll go real quick what's going on with it. It's got an Auburn rear end in it, our differential, and it sucks. It makes a lot of noise. It didn't make noise before it was sat, because it sat for like 4 years while I was building an engine for it. Well, the 347, and then that debacle with the headers and the oil pan and dipstick, all that business. So I ended up getting a 331 in it. The engine runs decent. It's never showed itself at the track yet, because while it's sat, I've got a Bauman shift kit in it to run the 4R70W, and in the time it sat till when I got it going, Bauman changed the software, so they had some features in there that changed the shift point. So when I would floor the gas, it'd run good. The first 60 foot, it dropped 1/10 of a second over when I had the 302 in it, even with the 17-inch drag radials. But I couldn't get the shifts right, so I never got a full pass under power. Last time I had it there, I think I raced Rod, and so I kind of looked to see where he was at. I didn't pay attention to where it was shifting, because I could never tailor the shifts on the street because it would always spin. So when I go to the track, I was trying to fool with it, and when I looked back at the tach, it was going past 70, about 7,300, and so I had to let out of the gas for it to shift. And I looked on the data log. Luckily, I was on the data log then, and it was up to 7,300. It stayed together, so that's a good thing. But that was the issue with it, where I never could get the shifts right, and that'll just take more work in the future. I did see, eventually I did see the different features in the software, so I kind of were messing with them to get them back to where it worked before, when I had the 302 in it. So the things I'm going to do when I put it in the garage is address the rear end. I got to change the front door seals, because they're pretty old and they're starting to leak. They're not original, but when I first got the car, I think I went to the junkyard and got like a Fox Body or Lincoln door seals and put them in for when I put it back together. But with these cars, kind of like the Fox Body, you got to take, to take the door seals out, you got to take the sill plates off, you got to take the kick panels, you got to take the A pillar and the B pillar, all that stuff's got to come off to get the door seals out. So it's a lot of work, but it'll be worth it to keep water out of the cabin. And that's the only things I plan to address. It runs really good and all that stuff. It's just I had to work on the shift points and the noisy rear end. The rear end that's in it, the Auburn, the reason I have it in the first place is because when I bought the red car, it was set up for 8th mile racing. The guy had a 302 in it with a C4 and Auburn rear end with 410s. So when I got the car, I traded a buddy of mine, Eric, for his rear end. He had a 373 set up. So and the red car was going to be a daily driver, so I converted it back to manual, sold the automatic, traded the rear end to Eric, and then so when eventually some years later, my youngest son Brandon bought Eric's LX, so I ended up with that 410 Auburn again. And I didn't know much about them, but I just stuck it in the LTD. Figured with the automatic, if there's any issues, it shouldn't have a lot of hits on it like a manual car. And it worked pretty good the whole time I had it, when I had the 302 in there. But for some reason, maybe just sitting for so many years, it was making noise all the time, especially going around corners and stuff. So I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't know what I'll do with the unit. Maybe see if somebody's got a fetish for them or something. See if I can sell it. But that's the plans. We'll get in the garage, get those things taken care of, and then it'll be mostly a daily driver. So, and then I won't have to worry so much about driving the other cars, the red car, the blue car, on a daily basis. I can still drive them throughout the week, but just not every day. It's nice in the wintertime here with the LTD, because it's got a defroster, and it sucks in the in the wintertime trying to drive a car with no defroster. here anyway, because it's so wet all the time. So anyway, that's the update on that one. I'll get to the other ones throughout the week, and we'll let you know what's going on with them. All right, appreciate y'all. Later.